Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. It's Monday. It's a tradition like no other. It is your Verona Road construction update. And we got the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Theisen. How's it going, sir?
Good. How are you, Jeremy?
I am living the dream, my friend.
Good.
Living the dream.
Hopefully it's a good dream.
It's always something. We got a lot that's been going on in that little construction zone that you got going on there. Yeah.
It's a busy project, a lot going on between Raymond and PD.
You really do have a lot going on, and I was driving through there recently, and I'm very surprised on how fast things are moving along.
Yes.
Now, you told me at the information meeting that they're gonna be cruising, Jeremy, and I was like, whatever, Steve, but turns out they are. They're moving. They're doing a lot, and even with the weather that isn't cooperated too much, it doesn't seem like it's really held up stuff.
No, exactly. Initially, when we started working on the Williamsburg Way intersection, crews were working day and night through that area to take all the material out, dig down 25 feet, like we've talked about before, move all that material down to the PD intersection, and essentially build Verona Road up and over PD, and it's been marvelous. We do have an interim completion date for the Williamsburg Way bridge, so that's why it shows that there's only 3 months to build that intersection, just because there's a lot of work going on through that area. But certainly the work, and especially through this picture
here, really does justice of how fast things moved in that area.
Once that intersection closed down, crews got at it, and they're again working day and night. So up here is the roadway at the top where traffic's traveling, and they're down 25 feet already. They're working on the piers. And some of the pier forms, but certainly when you're driving, don't be tempted to look over the barrier wall. Keep your focus on the road ahead. Eliminate those distractions, because certainly this is quite the area. Leave it to Facebook to provide those interesting tidbits and pictures of the work going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tight space when you're driving through there, as it is going on the ramps. Put the phones down, stop the distractions, slow down. We just ran a story recently. DOT put out, not you, Steve.
Yes.
Somebody else in the DOT about slowing down in construction
right.
zones and why they slow them down. Yes. We had never talked about that on the show. There's reasonings behind, not just the ultimate it's construction, but it's based on different things.
Right.
How come we've never talked about that, Steve?
Next update
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, I can't answer that right now. That's usually the generic response there. So let's continue on with the update again from Verona Road Underpass, south of PD to Raymond Road, as far as things going on this upcoming week.
So we have, again, a lot of work going on at Williamsburg Way, that continued work. In the next couple of weeks, probably by the end of May here, we'll have the girders for the new Williamsburg Way bridge. That'll be set in place at the end of May. And then down at PD, crews are working on the abutments and the piers for the new bridges going over PD. So certainly a lot of work. I know that intersection staging was set in place at the end of April, and so now we have that set up so crews can work on the different piers at staggered locations as well as the abutments. So the layout of the PD and Verona Road intersection is very similar to the Beltline and Verona Road. So we have those staggered piers that are up at Beltline and Verona Road, and so same kind of concept, and that's why we have the intersection staging the way it is, and that'll remain for the rest of the season until October. Once you open the interchange up.
That's an X-cross. What's that pattern called?
A single point interchange. So everything operates.
I knew this guy would know, right?
Everything operates around a single point. So if you put your finger on the table, everything operates around that. So you have simultaneous left turns, right turns, and through movements. It's a lot more efficient, and the mobility is greatly improved to get through traffic in that area.
Yeah, and just be cautious when you go in there. It's a little weird when you get into that intersection.
It is.
Just the way it's laid out for making turns and crossing.
Right.
I just, again, traveling through there, I was like, whoa, it's a little different. So
right.
Be aware when you get in there. And you probably shouldn't stop in the middle, right?
No, that's something discouraged. Certainly the signal timing that we have set up at PD right now, and that's the question that we've gotten a lot, is why can't you have the simultaneous eastbound, westbound movements like you used to? And that's because we don't want to stop people in the middle of the intersection. There's only probably 3 or 4 car lengths in between there.
Exactly.
And we don't want to have any backups on Verona Road to keep that traffic moving freely. And so making sure that people really, red light means stop, green light means go, and that's the way this intersection is going to be timed for the rest of the season.
Fantastic. Moving down to McKee Road between Verona and Spoke Drive. So you kind of talked about some of that intersection work there.
Right, and that's really the bulk of what we're doing here in 2019 is working on the Verona Road interchange itself, building those piers and abutments. So once people, I think, really start to see that work and really the tall pillars and everything else going on in that area, they'll understand the reason for what we're doing and how things are staged. But certainly for the time being, there's a lot of work going on behind the barrier wall. So you might be driving right next to a barrier wall, and right down below is a construction crew that's working on the concrete pours and everything else for
I was going to say, it's backed up pretty far now to Verona, and moving forward, it looks like they're doing a lot of work in that area as well, moving up to the bridge.
Right. So they're doing all of that, and essentially, so in 2020, we work on PD, and we expand PD to 3 lanes each way between Verona and Commerce Park Drive, and have those newly expanded 3 lanes, the different turn restrictions at K-Pac and Nesbitt Road, and then obviously the turns to and from Verona Road as well.
And we're going to continue to have some night work then throughout here this upcoming week. Are we pretty much wrapped up with that? How's that working?
Night work's going to happen certainly as the weather allows. Later this week there won't be too much night work, but this coming week we will have night work primarily again by Williamsburg Way, moving all that material down to PD and just doing a lot of that hauling and material. There's some work associated with the Wingo Quarry, so there might be some nighttime noise associated with the work. However, it's primarily just Verona Road, so working from Williamsburg Way down to PD. Another point that we haven't really talked about north of there up to the Raymond Road intersection is that by the end of hopefully next week, we have Raymond Road and Verona Road opened up to all lanes, all turn lanes and all through lanes. So 3 lanes each way on Verona Road, and then 3 left turn lanes from Raymond Road to northbound Verona Road, and then the 2 left turn lanes from Verona Road to Raymond Road.
Is that the final?
That's the final configuration. So essentially, once you pass through north of Williamsburg Way, that's the permanent condition. That'll open up, and then you'll have the rest of the way up to the Beltline.
Cruising right along.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right. And as far as any other photos here, you posted up a few photos this week. Here's another one. I think this is at the Williamsburg. I'm looking here really fast. Yeah, at the Williamsburg Way. Again, that progression here, they are moving forward.
It is. And so that first photo we saw earlier in the segment, we had all the grading work and everything completed, and now they're already working on the form. So you can tell the archways that we have, again, it's very similar to the aesthetic look of the Beltline and Verona Road interchange with those archways. So same kind of thing. This is taken late last week, or actually earlier this week, of the work. So it's moving right along, and they have a safe work zone that there's no traffic going by, so they're able to access that freely and work around the clock for it.
I just cannot believe how much material has been moved out of there.
That's a lot.
That is an amazing in itself. So certainly appreciate the time. Check out Facebook. And certainly we got to remind you, get signed up for these updates. This guy right here, he is the guy who's writing those, and you can get signed up.
Verona Road Project at WI.gov. You had half of it, so I helped you out with the rest.
I'm like, why am I stealing your thunder? Like,
right.
That's your job.
It's a great way. It's a great place to stay informed. Certainly with the project updates, the photos that are going on. You can search for those on Verona Road Project on Facebook. But certainly ask us any questions you have. Our contact information's out on the website. But really keep your heads up, phones down, eliminate distractions. Don't tailgate in the work zone. Just be alert when driving.
Absolutely. And don't forget to hit the Verona Road Business Coalition, sign up for their app. It's amazing. There it is. Yeah, Android and Apple phones, that's available for you. And check out their veronaroad.info. Again, that business is affected by this construction project going on here for a long time. It's about time you get on down there and check out some of the businesses.
Patronize the businesses, yes.
Please do. And the coalition's working hard to help those businesses. So, Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeremy. Always a pleasure.
We're going to get you back here in a month. In the meantime, Don't watch any of these because, we call you out. He sat down today and he's like, so last week. Yeah.
It's good updates.
He's watching.
Updates.
We're just here to make you. We only do it for you, Steve.
Oh boy.
All right, Steve Theisen, Wisconsin DOT. We appreciate his time. We need to take a quick break. We'll move on to the next segment. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.